But first, human trafficking is on the rise during busy travel months. Several organizations and businesses are focusing on the widespread problem. Mimi Nickel from Love's Arms joins me now with more on how this program is helping girls and women trapped in this vicious cycle. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, you founded this organization back in 2005. Talk about how the vision for Love's Arm came about.
I was teaching classes at Silverdale Correctional Facility, and out of those classes we started an aftercare group for the women coming out of Silverdale. And when they started coming to that aftercare group, one of the women that came was a crack addicted prostitute when she was out there. And she said, I want to go out to the streets and tell the women out there that Jesus loves them. But I'm afraid to go by myself. And I just looked at her at the table, I put my hands on the table and I said, I'll go with you. And that's how it all began. It's all been kind of orchestrated one step at a time that way.
From that one statement there to you saying, okay, I'm going to join you, I'm going to help you, and I'm going to go out there with you. So with Love's Arm, you talk about this, and we've talked about recently human trafficking. And this area, with us, with 7524 being here, major thoroughfare, major area. We've had stories on where, you know, luckily someone spotted, saw something strange. It was, I remember about a few years ago at a Waffle House, a man, and ended up, it was a trafficking, sex trafficking of this little girl. And thank goodness somebody paid attention and called police. And you have these things where young girls and young women get into this, and whether it's prostitution. But with this, you want to focus on three things with Love's Arm.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us about that.
The first thing we focus on is engaging in relationships. We are a relational organization. Through those relationships, we try to empower the women that come to us to be self-sufficient, to love themselves, know they're loved and cared for, and to make transitional changes. And so we help them transition out of that lifestyle into a community of grace and find healing and hope and find new life.
And it really is when you start talking about kind of transitioning out of that lifestyle, because for us sitting up here, it's easy for us to say, you know, why can't they stop? Why are they doing this? You know, why would women want to put themselves into that position? But again, the circumstances that often lead them to there, these women are broken.
Yes, ma'am.
And in a bad place a lot of times, and getting out is not easy.
And no, it's very difficult. It's probably one of the hardest things to do because there's layers and layers of complex trauma. The reason that they're in the lifestyle to begin with is not that they chose to be there, but many times I say it chose them, because 95 to 98% are victims of childhood sexual abuse. And that was the inroad into the life. That was the initiation of their sexual trauma. And after that, it's just been trauma upon trauma upon trauma. And many of them end up in addiction and alcoholism in the course of that trafficking and trauma, and end up in street prostitution.
And they end up in that addiction to kind of escape, right? A lot of times from this, you know, like you said, no one wants to be in this life, in that type of lifestyle.
It's a cycle of shame and fear. And so they end up in it, and they do something that they feel very shameful about. And then in turn, they do the drug to make the shame go away. When the drug wears off, they got to get more of the drug. So they do the shameful thing, and then it just goes on and on and on. We know women who have been trapped in it for 30 years.
Wow, that's a long time when you think about that. And as we wrap up, just talk about the challenge that you all face, and the women, the volunteers, of helping these women and helping them break that cycle and that stigma.
Well, the main challenge we face is we can't make anyone do anything. We can, if they're ready, and we can offer them ourselves, our time, our love, our resources, but we have to literally, it's like taking someone by the hand and walking through life with them step by step, one step at a time and one day at a time, because they are wanting to change from the inside out, how they think, how they respond to their feelings and react, and inevitably the choices they make and how they live.
All righty, well, definitely a need for this organization. And Mimi, thank you so much for being here. We want to put up all the information. If you know someone who's in this cycle, if you yourself, you're dealing with this, then give them a call. They have a 24-hour hotline. There's the phone number on your screen and also their website as well. Again, Mimi, thanks so much for being here.